Good evening, everyone. I would like to thank you all for taking out the time to join in this session. On behalf of Spark, I welcome you all to the mentorship session for CA Intermediate students. This session is aimed at sorting out your doubts regarding preparation for CA Intermediate exams and managing it with college. During this session, members of Spark who have given their intermediate exams will share their insights on a multitude of things. Further, we will also have a Q&A round wherein we will take up your queries. We hope that at the end of the session, you will have a great many insights on tackling the obstacles in your path and your confusion will be replaced with clarity. So let's begin this session with the first question that pops up in the mind of every CA student when they are commencing their journey. Should I give both groups or single? Well, the answer to this question is to a great extent subjective. So we will try to share all the pros and cons associated with both the alternatives so as to facilitate your decision making. I will be sharing the pros and cons of giving both groups. On reversal, they will serve as the pros and cons of giving single group. Now, the advantages of giving both groups are, firstly, you become eligible for securing a rank. Another advantage that you get is set off. Now, what happens is that if you give single group, then you have to score minimum 200 out of 400 in group 1 as well as in group 2 to pass in both the groups. Whereas if you give both groups, then even if you don't get 200 out of 400 in each group, but your combined score of both the groups is 400 out of 800, then you do meet the passing criteria. For example, you score 220 out of 400 in group 1 and 180 out of 400 in group 2. Now, if you give single group, then you will pass only in group 1 but not in group 2. On the other hand, if you give both the groups together, then your combined score becomes 220 plus 180, which is 400 out of 800, and you will pass in both the groups. This is the benefit of set-off that you get when you give both the groups together. Now, coming off to the disadvantages of giving both groups. Now, the biggest disadvantage is that you get less time for preparation of both the groups. Now, preparing for both groups along with college in a time span of 9 months will make your schedule pretty hectic. Another disadvantage is that the probability of passing both groups is less than the probability of passing single group. Now, the passing percentage of both groups was less than the passing percentage of single group, that is group 1, as well as group 2 in both the attempts of November 2019, as well as in May 2019 attempt. Now, my hope that now you all will be able to take your decision as per your capabilities in the backdrop of the facts related to both the alternatives. Now, I would like to hand over the mic to Himanshu, who would throw some light on the subjects in CA Inter, which get also covered in the semester exams.
Thank you, Ritika. Guys, Spark knows that a lot of commerce undergrads are in doubt as to which semester subject are comparable to CA intermediate subject. So to unravel that confusion, I'm going to tell those semester subjects that are either equivalent to or equal to the intermediate subject. So I would request everyone to take a note of the semester in which the CA syllabus is covered. Let's dive in without further ado. The first subject of the intermediate curriculum is accounts. Topics such as branch accounts, hire purchase, departmental accounts, which typically fetch around 10 to 15 marks in CA exam, are also included in financial accounting subject of semester 1. Similarly, in law, concepts such as special contracts and the entire company law are confined in semester 1 and semester 2 respectively. I repeat, accounts in Sem 1, law in Sem 1 and 2. In Sem 4 and 5, you will be taught the major portion of the cost management accounting. Now, taxation. One of the most interesting subject of the intermediate curriculum. It is the integration of two behemoth subjects called income tax and GST. You will be taught income tax in the third sem, and in the last sem, you will be able to take a pick of GST. I repeat, income tax in third sem and a pick of GST in the last sem. The first subject of group 2 is advanced account. In the corporate accounting subject of semester 2, the concepts of amalgamation, internal reconstruction, liquidation, and consolidated financial statement, which usually yields around 30 to 40 marks in CA exams, are covered. So Group 2 Advanced Account is covered in Sem 2. In last semester, few concepts of auditing and assurance will be taught. ESSM doesn't come under the purview of graduation. However, in the 5th sem, almost 40% of financial management, which is the last subject of CA Inter, can be comprehended. In a nutshell, few auditing concepts are covered in the last sem and the major portion of financial management in 5th. ESSM doesn't come under the purview of graduation. So now you might be wondering that if all of these subjects are covered in graduation, then why to go for CA program? As straightforward as it might seem, the answer is not an easy one. You need to understand what these two choices will give you in exchange before going into the discussion. And these choices will be based on your career plans. Now I know that fixing a career plan so early in the life is very difficult, but getting a clear understanding of the choices and particularly what we get from them can help you to make the right decision. So let's get into the brief discussion. A chartered accountant can work in 3 real arms, such as litigation, compliance, and advisory. Litigation includes dispute settlements. Compliance includes ITR filing, GSTR filing, accounts audit, internal audit, and वगैरह. Whereas advisory includes risk management advisory, investment analyst, and PE analyst. Now, BCom honors. BCom honors as a course is not as deep and specialized as that of a CA, and it stands on a different level. Rather, it provides a good platform for someone to hone his or her skills in various fields, but more importantly, in the management head. Whereas CA is a prestigious course and altogether a different ballgame. I hope this brief discussion helped you in some way. And with that said, I would like to hand over the mic to Muskan.
So, hello everyone. Am I audible? Himanshu, am I audible?
Yeah, Muskan.
Yeah, Muskan, go ahead.
Okay, so first of all, I'm sorry if there is any weird background noise because there's some construction going over my place. Right. So, hello everyone, and a warm welcome from my side. Now, all the second years and the third years will be sharing their experiences regarding the coachings they have taken for the inter-examination from different faculties for all the subjects. I hope this will definitely help you to choose wisely for your coachings as well as give you a clear view. We will try to cover as many aspects as possible, but if you still have any queries, we will take them towards the end of the session. We will be starting subject-wise for both the groups. Now, starting from group 1, first of all, our first subject is accounts. So the famous faculties are Praveen Sharma and Praveen Jindal. So guys, first of all, if you can't remember, then you can write down the name of the faculty somewhere, maybe in your phone or notebook, whatever suits you. Right? So personally, I took coaching from Praveen Jindal and I was quite satisfied with the results. All the extra questions and past year examination questions were covered really well, and plus you don't need to study from anywhere else. And I would recommend you guys to go for Praveen Jindal sir's classes. Now, I would request other people to share their viewpoints about their faculties. So, starting from you, Himanshu, would you like to go ahead? Himanshu, could you hear me?
Yeah. So for accounts, I had gone for Praveen Sharma, and for also advanced accounts for Praveen Sharma because he had an extensive experience in that field. For taxation, IGP classes, Ms. Vijender Agrawal. For law, Ankita.
Himanshu, we're just talking about accounts right now.
Okay, accounts. So for accounts, Praveen Sharma, sir.
Okay. Chehek?
So I totally agree with Muskan that he explains the concept very, very easily. But adding to what she said, he also explains the accounting standards in brief. So, accounting standards understanding of those accounting standards play a very, very important role. So, the first question that is compulsory to attempt is like almost from the accounting standards only. So, I would personally recommend Jindal sir because he explains the concept very, very easily.
Thank you, Chehak. Ritika?
Well, I did not go for any coachings in accounts, so I did it by myself. So I won't be in a position to recommend any faculty. Well, I found that because most of the concepts were somewhere covered in my semester classes, so I went for self-study and I did it pretty well. I managed it. So yeah.
That's great, Ritika. So now moving over to the next subject, that is law. So for law, you have Ankita Patni or Munish Bhandari. So honestly, from all the 4 subjects that I've studied for Group 1, I feel like law was one of them which I eventually liked, and it was comparatively easier for me as compared to others. I would highly recommend you guys to go for Ankita Patni. Her memory tricks, PPT books, summary books are literally amazing. Plus, SPC classes also upload the revision marathon few days prior to exam, which actually helps you a lot. So I would recommend you guys to go for Ankita Patni. Himanshu?
Okay, so I'll add on to what Muskan said. So Ankita ma'am, just before starting with some new lecture, she would briefly explain what she taught the very previous day. So that's like a quick revision for you guys. So that's a pretty good thing. Once the chapter is actually over, you'll have a brief map of that chapter in your head, even if you don't regularly study. It is like very difficult to spare time. Like first of all, watch certain number of lectures and then spare some time for self study. So for that reason, Ankita ma'am is a very good teacher. She explains the concept very easily, and the revision part is also nice. And next is the chart book which she provides is also very, very helpful. Yeah. Anybody else wants to speak something?
I think we should move towards the next subject. So for the costing, there are Ashish Kalra or Pushottam Agarwal or Harshad Jaju. See, I took coaching from Ashish Kalra, and honestly, I didn't like his teaching methods at all. He made everything more confusing for me. And at the end, eventually, I was literally scared of cost as a subject. And out of all the exams, it honestly didn't went really great for me. So I think I would not at all recommend you guys to go for Ashish Kalra sir, because eventually I'm regretting after taking his classes. Shahek, would you like to add something?
Muskan, I have a little different opinion than you of Ashish Kalra because I liked Ashish Kalra sir's teaching, his notes, and the way he taught to all the students. So I think he's one of the best faculties. From my personal opinion, he's one of the best faculties for cost and management accounting. So yeah, students could try to go for Ashish Kalra sir's virtual classes.
See,
Okay.
maybe, but our batch didn't like Ashish Kalra's teaching at all. Literally, all the people from our batch who have taken Ashish Kalra's coaching, they didn't really like it. Everybody was regretting. Maybe I don't know. It was a different batch. Maybe that's it.
Okay, so I took classes from Purushottam sir. Am I audible?
Yes, you're audible, Vedant.
Yeah, so I took classes from Purushottam sir, and I wanted to go for Ashish Kalra because of, to be honest, because of his big name, that he's a course master and all. But at that point of time, I wanted to go for pendrive classes, and his classes in the pendrive form was not available as of then. So I went for Purushottam Agarwal. But to be honest, he's a gem of a teacher, a bit underrated because the way he tells you the concept. I have two big. He makes two registers One is separately for concept and the other is for practical part. So if you want to go through concepts, because prior to the examination, you just want to go through concepts and you don't want to get indulged in those practical questions, right? So you can refer those part of notes. And if you want to go through practical question part, the other register is there. And one more technique that he used to do in those classes was that he used to mark questions in ABC category. That is, if a question is really very good, he used to mark it as A, then B, then C. So at the end of the day, you would get around about 5 to 6 questions in each chapter of A. And if you want to go for revision in just a fast track manner, go for those A questions and you will be through with the chapter. So I like this technique. Yeah.
I just want to say to all the first years who have joined, the ones who are aspiring for the CA Intermediate, to please write down whatever we are saying, because that would really be helpful in deciding in future that which coaching you should go for.
Yes, guys, please note down whatever you want to. So moving over to the next subject, that is taxation. We have famous faculties like Vijendra Agarwal, Neeraj Arora sir, and Jaspreet Johar. So, okay, tax being the most widest and the difficult subject of Group 1 actually requires a lot of practice and time management. I took drive lectures from Vijendra Agarwal and I was quite satisfied with it. His teaching methods are really great and I would recommend you guys to go for him. Like, he teaches really well. Anybody else wants to add anything?
Yeah, I also agree with Muskan. So he's a very good teacher and he has a very detailed knowledge. Also, you guys don't have to worry about any amendments. Tax is a subject like usme itni amendments aati hain, but Vijendra sir would actually like cover everything for you and send you either on Telegram groups or you can even access the amended lectures as well. So that's a pretty plus point ki you don't have to worry for the amendments wala part.
Yeah, Vijendra sir is like one of the most dedicated teachers for a subject. So he's a must go for tax subject.
Yes, I totally agree with it. So moving over to the group 2. So first subject we have advanced accounts. Similar teachers, Praveen Sharma and Praveen Jindal. I took classes from Praveen Jindal because in the first group I went for him. So I went for him in the second group too, and my experience is similar. Like, he's good, you can take his classes, all the amendments are there, all the important questions are there, so you really need not to worry about it. Anybody else wants to add anything?
I also took my advanced account classes, drive classes from Jindal sir, and I'm also pretty satisfied with his method of teaching. So I also would recommend you the same.
Yeah, and I'd just like to share a pro tip for Praveen Jindal sir's classes, that you can, when you'll be watching his videos, you can go for 1.5 times speed or 2 times speed, and that would be really helpful to finish his classes quite early. Because he's someone who speaks quite slow, but his content is very concrete. It's very nice. It comes in the exam. But since he speaks so slow, so you can go for a little faster speed.
Exactly. You can listen to his videos on 2x too. You'll get to understand it. So, okay, moving over to the second subject, that is auditing and assurance. The famous localities are Harshad Jaju and Surbhi Bansal. I am currently watching Harshad Jaju's classes and I am quite satisfied with it. Since I have not completed the course, so I won't be able to give my whole experience with it. So I would like to ask other third years to share their experiences for the same. Archit and Vedant.
Yeah, so I appeared for Intermediate Group 2 in this December only. So one thing about Harshad Jaju sir is the revisions he do. As in, every day you'll be spending around about 30 to 45 minutes in the class itself on the revision. Just like Chek mentioned in the law section that Ankita Patni ma'am always does this. Harshad Jaju is a teacher who basically रटवाते नहीं है, but when you revise that thing around about 10 to 12 times, वो automatically that gets into your brain, right? So an audit is a subject जो थोड़ा बोरिंग लगेगा एंड में बीच में जाकर एंड में जाकर, बट द पॉइंट इज इट इज अ वेरी स्कोरिंग सब्जेक्ट. एंड आफ्टर क्या कहते हैं, जो ICAI has introduced all the MCQs part and all, 30 marks are for MCQ, right? So that is a must grab, because wo 30, and then if you're aiming for exemption, so 30 plus 30, you need only 30 out of the rest 70 to get an exemption, and that too. Hello.
Yeah, go on, go on. Adding to what Vedant said, 20 marks is also for true and false section, so that is also very scoring.
Yeah, right. So in my opinion, Harshad Jaju is the best fit for audit.
If somebody whose class timings would not match with Harshad Jaju, there's another alternative in L9. He is Pankaj Garg, sir. I took classes from him in the summers last year. He's a good teacher, but उनकी एक कमी कह सकते हैं कि वो काफी ज्यादा ये करते हैं कि वो रटवाते ज्यादा हैं. Like he gives you very extensive notes. उनका कंटेंट काफी अच्छा होता है, बट वो क्या होता है, वो बहुत ज्यादा रटवाने की कोशिश करते हैं, तो जिससे इवेंचुअली क्या होता है, बच्चों को काफी बोर होने लग जाते हैं. So just in case you're not getting Harshad Jaju, you could go for Pankaj Garg.
But Archit, pen drive classes for Harshad Jaju are available now.
Okay. Since pen drive classes are available, so Harshad Jaju is the best one.
Okay. So for the next subject, that is EIS SM, Swapnil Patni, Archit and Vedant, please.
Yeah, can I add something on EIS SM?
Yeah, sure. They could go.
Yeah, so I first of all didn't take any classes for EISSM, and what I did was, and when I talked to a few of my friends, I found out that they did something pretty similar. So as I said, I did not take any classes for EISSM, but if you go to YouTube, you'll see that Swapnil Patni very regularly puts up a video for the complete revision of the subject, and it's like a 12-hour, 14-hour video that you can watch according to your own pace. And why I recommend it to everybody is because the effectiveness of that video is, I think, as good as any full classes that you can go for. Because for theory subjects, the most important thing is to understand the base concept, which I think can be done through those videos. That's my opinion. For if anybody is willing to go for full classes, then I'm pretty sure Swapnil Patni is a very good choice.
Yeah, I also did just like Devdut. I also did not take any classes. However, I used Swapnil Patni's YouTube videos and his notes to do self-study. Vedant, would you like to contribute something?
Yeah, I went for the full classes, and my experience was really very great, because what Swapnil Patni sir does is he teaches you with examples. He doesn't go for that text-to-text line or line-to-line reading and all stuff. He gives you example. वो Google खोल के पढ़ाते हैं. He doesn't teach you by the book. So that's what interests you, because EIS SM as a subject, it is very theoretical, as Devdut mentioned, and being interested in that for a amount of 2 to 3 months, that's a bit tough. So right, he is the best. He's the best fit according to me, Swapnil sir.
Okay, thank you, Vedant. Now moving over to the next subject, that is FM Eco. So we have two teachers, Aditya Jain and Swapnil Patni. So Vedant.
Yeah, so I went for Aditya Jain sir classes. To be honest, he's a teacher who changed my purview of finance, because in the beginning of the classes, he doesn't talk about the syllabus and all. He just tells you about how stock market works, and that is what is interesting in financial management, right? Because if you don't get interested in finance or these terms, at the end of the day, they would appear boring to you. So, and he was the one who really pushed me towards pursuing finance as a course ahead, as in pursuing some, because lockdown was there, so I pursued some Coursera courses and all, but all thanks to him, because he was the one that created my interest in that. So yeah, I'll always prefer see Aditya Jain classes in FM Eco. Thank you.
Namrata is also present. Would you like to contribute to it?
Yeah, sure. Basically, I took FM and Eco classes from Ashish Kalra sir, but since many of the juniors don't have good opinions about him, I would just say like economics is a very theoretical subject and you can do it on your own. I too skipped the video lectures of economics and studied economics from the module only. But I didn't find any inconvenience in taking classes from Ashish Kalra for FM. That's my opinion.
Absolutely. I too think that Ashish Kalra sir's financial management was quite nice. He did his classes were actually 3 hours long, so sometimes we all felt like he's going on for too long, but he went too deep into every concept. Sometimes he would tell you the derivations of a lot of things, which tend to get boring, but they're very helpful in concept building. And he does a lot of questions practice as well. So if you can give that much time to a subject like FM, so you should definitely go for Ashish Kalra sir at IGP.
Adding to what Archit said, I think the difference of opinion is because I went for satellite classes, and while some of the juniors went for the pen drive classes. In pen drive classes, lectures are edited. Okay, the discussion part, the revision part, and also as I have talked to juniors, the homework part, the discussion of the homework, all these were missing. So if you can go for satellite classes, if your center is nearby your home, you can refer Ashish Kalra sir.
But Corona won't allow them to go, na?
We went to give exams in Corona only, na? But in case somebody finds it convenient, that's why.
Yes.
Okay. So thank you. So now I would like to introduce to. Am I audible, right? Hello, am I audible?
Yes, you're audible.
Yes, Muskan.
Okay, so now I would like to introduce to you all and welcome our super senior Tamanna Patel, who has successfully completed her inter-examination and is currently doing articleship from one of the big fours, that is KPMG India, in audit and assurance. She will be sharing her experience along with some tips and tricks that will help you guys in the future. Over to you, Tamanna.
Mute pe.
Yeah, so am I audible now? Yeah, so thank you so much, Muskan, for that lovely introduction. I can see a few of you. Hi Vedant, hi Archit, hi Muskan, hi Chahek, hi Devdut. Yeah. So as Muskan said, I'm currently a first year article at KPMG India in the audit division, and it's always a very special feeling getting to be a part of any initiative that Spark launches. So thank you so much for having me here today. And if I have to share a few tips from my articleship journey, actually there are a lot of them, but if I have to just consolidate everything and just share a few tips, it would be divided into 3 parts. So the first would be that consistency. That is something that I would like to talk about today, because at this current scenario, when we are all studying from our homes and we all get pen drive classes, it is very easy to lose track of time, because when we used to go to the coachings, you had those coachings daily, right? So you used to go, there was no way out. But now that you have those coachings available at your fingertips, it's very easy to underestimate the course and overestimate the time you have in hand. So be very sure from the very beginning that whenever you're taking, so one thing that you can leverage here at this point of time is that now, since you have everything available in pen drive classes, you can very well create or formulate a timeline for yourself. So be it if you're giving a single group or both groups, just formulate a timeline for yourself from the very beginning. Research a bit on which coachings do you need to take first, which coachings do you need to take later on. Ask your seniors, ask these great guys at Spark. You can ping anyone and they'll help you here. They'll help you out by they'll help you with this formation of timeline, right? So first of all, just do this thing that create a specific timeline for yourself on when do you need to start the subject and when do you need to end it. And since you've just begun college, you would all want to try out various different things and you would want to diversify your profile. But while you're doing that, just don't lose track of the CA course as well, because it is time demanding and it demands some effort from your side and some restrictions and religiousness from your side to actually study this thoroughly. So the first thing that I talked about right now was consistency. So be very sure that you are consistent with your subjects. And when you're consistent with your classes, it will be very easy to manage various different things along. Now that all those barriers of you don't have to go anywhere, so all that time you can save and you can use it somewhere else, but be consistent. The second thing is note making. That is something I consider really, really important in CA Inter, in any level of CA, because it all comes down to how you actually consolidate the whole vastness of the syllabus in such a short form that you can revise it in one day. At the end, it all boils down to that one day, because no matter if you're giving one group or both groups, it's very tasking in your mind. I mean, it actually it becomes very easy if you have prepared those notes beforehand. And when I speak about note making, what I refer to here is that, for example, there's a practical subject. You are taking a practical subject and you came across a question that has a trick in it. So what you can do is just write that trick there and then, because so that you remember it for later on. And that does not mean you're rectifying the subject or anything, because with the number of syllabus and the number of subjects that you have to do, it's very common that you can forget something that you remembered earlier. And on that last day, you won't have time to actually decipher every question over and over again. So what you can do is, whenever you are actually studying for a practical subject, just make sure that you're very specific with writing down and just highlighting the trick points of every question, so that in the last day you can just go through all those trick points and just ensure that you don't make those mistakes again. And similarly, in case of theory subjects, if you are taking a theory subject, just make sure you highlight it, because sometimes when you come from 12th, we feel that yeah, hum sab rat lenge, we have done it before, we'll do it again. But once the subject goes on and towards the end, you just realize there's nothing in your mind at that time. And even after subsequent revisions, you will just feel that you really don't remember even one single chapter. And this is very common, because there's so much that you need to keep in your mind. So from the very beginning, just ensure that if the teacher, whichever teacher you take, they give a lot of keywords that you can remember, just make sure that you use those keywords, because we made these mistakes ourselves when we were overconfident that nahi, hum to rat lenge, we'll do it all. But at the end, we actually suffered, because we had to make those notes all over again. We had to devote months and months of note making went at the end. So just in order to save yourself from all that hassle at the end, just make your notes in such a manner that they actually speak to you, because they would be the guiding point when you study that subject again after a few months, because at that time what the teacher has said, it will just vanish from your mind. And your notes may be in Hindi as well, because if you understand something in Hindi, if a teacher has said something in Hindi, just write it down in Hindi in the book itself. Just make your book such that they talk back to you, that when you see that question, you actually know what you need to do in that question. So that is what I would want to say about note making, that note making is very, very, very important, guys. So don't skip that part just because it feels monotonous. And one more thing about note making is referencing. Just reference everything to each other. Be it a question you have practiced in your practice booklet, you might not know when you might need that solution again, and you might not have the time to do that question again in the future, because there are a lot of questions and you actually won't have time to again do a question once that you have done before. So just reference everything. Write page numbers. It might seem monotonous, it might seem that hum kyun karenge sab, like why do we do all this stuff, but it actually helps you a lot in that one day at the end, when you have just 24 hours or 48 hours or 36, whatever time you have to just recapitulate everything in that one day. And the third thing that I would like to say is group efforts. So this exam is not a single man's task, and what I mean by this is that there's so much vastness in the subject, in all these subjects, that sometimes you might leave something, or sometimes you might not be able to grasp a certain topic. and your friend, if you have a friend, he or she might be able to grasp that. So discuss with each other, share stuff with each other, and when you do that, it will actually help you benefit from each other's knowledge, and it will help you move forward. So I would just like to ask if I have some time in hand, because I would like to share a short experience from my articleship, if just to reiterate on the importance of the third point. So do I have some time?
Haha.
Okay.
Yeah, go on.
Okay. So yeah, so one thing that happened during my articleship journey was that I took CA audit, like the intermediate audit subject, very early. And at that time, the course had gone through a complete overhaul. The whole pattern of asking questions, the whole exam pattern, it had all changed. So I had taken it very early, and one of my friends, Samriddhi, so she was doing self-study of this coaching. She was self-studying the subject audit, so I shared my notes with her, and we were both studying from those notes. And later on, 1 month before our exams in October or mid-September, while she was attempting the mock test papers, she just found out that the mock test papers and the RTPs are nowhere in line with what we have studied. Like, the answers are not matching. The answers, we can't even find the answers in our books. So I didn't have the time to do those mock test papers myself. I really didn't have the time. And had we not been discussing, and she told me this fact, that yeah, the questions are actually not from the material that we are studying from. And we checked the study mat, and actually there were a lot of new topics that had been introduced in the study mat. And I was assuming that it was all covered in my syllabus, in the notes that I had taken. So finally we passed. But what I want to say, like what I want to reiterate here, is that had we not been discussing about the subject, and had we not been discussing about the mock test papers and all these things, I might not have come to know about this change in the subject, and this change in the syllabus, and that I have studied it all wrong, and I might have flunked the subject. So because I would have not done the RTPs or mock test papers myself, I didn't have the time. So that is what I want to say, is that each and every person, like, you study with, just help each other, just solve each other's doubts, and just go forward in this journey, in the C articleship journey together. And if you have any doubts at any point of time, you can of course reach to your seniors. So yeah, these are the few things that I would like to share from my experience. Apart from that, yeah, it's a great initiative by Spark. So thank you so much, and that's all. Yeah.
Thank you so much, Anna. That was really insightful.